Integrity back on Earth following its historic flyby of the moon. It was, for all intents and purposes, a textbook mission.
On 28 per hour, remain on this frequency.
We copy.
Reed Wiseman indicating some trouble with the SARSAT phone on board, but that's not an issue. What is more important is that the vehicle is solid, no issues as we begin the power down of the vehicle to begin the recovery process.
And Houston, in instruction 509, we are not below 0.2.
Integrity, no action required.
Integrity.
Communications and data, so we will not be able to talk to the crew members at that time, nor will we imagery assets that we hope to receive imagery from as Artemis entered 1 minute 20 second. So that pinpoint of light shows the vehicle as it enters the period of peak heating in the Earth's atmosphere, the first tug of gravity being felt by Integrity's astronauts since their launch back on April 1st. Four and a half minutes until the end of the blackout period. Repelling of that heat on Integrity's heat shield. Flight Dynamics reports that airborne assets in the vicinity of the splashdown zone do have a visual on Integrity. Still 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in our blackout period. Time to splashdown, 9 minutes, 35 seconds. Multiple airborne assets as part of the recovery team all have visuals on Integrity. And the WB-57 flying in the splashdown zone also has a visual. And the Navy helos also have visuals.
If you are happy with your comm with Master Diver, you can go back to the 15-minute power down.
Okay, stand by. Yeah, we'll confirm here in a second.
The crew on board Integrity coordinating with the flight control team in Houston here in Mission Control on the timing of the power down of the vehicle, which will be the precursor to the recovery teams approaching the spacecraft There are no issues with integrity. We've had a bit of broken capability in establishing a SARSAT or satellite phone communications capability between the crew on board Integrity and the recovery team. That will get sorted out here shortly. There's plenty of cooling on board Integrity, so there's no rush to begin the power down.
To call you on the sat phone and not getting an answer there either.
Concur. We haven't had anything come through.
And Houston, if you could relay to recovery that we hear them, but it does not appear as though they are hearing us.
Houston copies, and Reed, just to confirm, you are pushing the PTT on the radio.
So as we continue to sort out the communications between Integrity and the recovery teams, we are standing by for the initiation of the power down procedures that, as you see, the recovery teams are moving towards the side of the capsule. The next major event will be the erection of that large inflatable raft called the front porch. That will be the port of call for the crew as they're being extracted one by one from the vehicle.
Integrity Houston, for sat phone, we are going to attempt to call you.
Good idea, standing by.
And Jackie, yes, we are pushing the push to talk, the two buttons on the left side of the radio below the up-down arrows. We are utilizing them. I'm rebooting the radio to see if we get good comms.
Okay, we copy all, and just to confirm, you are seeing that you are touchdown plus 3030 for power, correct?
That's the affirmative.
We are trying a backdoor approach to have mission control here call the crew on their satellite phone. This is all part of the coordination for the power down of the vehicle that will initiate the actual recovery operation. The first boats with the Navy divers on board are standing by, waiting to close in on Integrity to begin the process of erecting the large inflatable raft that's called the front porch that will be where the astronauts are extracted from so that they can have a few minutes to get their land legs back before they're hoisted aboard the Navy helicopters for the flight back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha.
Cannot reply.
And Houston, please don't reply. NRD, very weak. Readable, master diver, we can hear, but they cannot hear us. and Houston on OE1. Is there any chance to tie us into NRD?
Checking.
This is Mission Control Houston. While we stand by for the establishment of communications between Integrity and the recovery team that is basically standing by very close to the spacecraft, we're going to go to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha, where Megan Cruz is standing by with Administrator Jared Isaacman.
Hey Rob, yeah, just such an honor to be able to be here on the ship, to be able to share and experience this moment with everyone together. And of course, as you just said, yes, here with NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman. Administrator, how did you feel getting to witness this and seeing NASA at its best?
Oh, I mean, I'm honestly, I'm still at a loss for words. I mean, you know, like the childhood Jared right now can't believe what I just saw. I mean, almost been waiting my whole lifetime to see this, and then as NASA Administrator, I just couldn't be more proud of the entire workforce, the years, the effort, the late nights, all the hard work from across the country that contributed to this incredible moment right now. And yeah, incredibly grateful too for our teams here on the John P. Murtha right now.
Yeah, look at the behind us here.
Got everybody. Hey, what do you guys think? We just brought some astronauts back from the moon, huh? Unbelievable. Thank you. Yeah, so grateful to the Navy, the sailors that are here, the NASA teams. I mean, this is a joint effort that's on their way right now. These recovery forces are getting out to our Orion spacecraft, to Integrity, get our astronauts back on the ship safely.
Yeah, and this is not just an accomplishment for NASA. This is an accomplishment for humanity. Again, a historic mission to the moon and back. How does this make you feel, and what do you hope people take away from this?
Well, I'll tell you, you know, I think about the crew members that we've all had an opportunity to observe over the last 10 days, right? I mean, they're absolutely professional astronauts. I mean, wonderful communicators, almost poets. But then I think these were the ambassadors from humanity to the stars that we sent out there. And I can't imagine a better crew than the Artemis II crew that just completed a perfect mission right now. So yes, it's a huge moment for everybody, right? I mean, we are back in the business of sending astronauts to the moon, bringing them back safely, and to set up for a series more. I mean, this is not a once-in-a-lifetime, which you hear sometimes around here. It's like, this was a once-in-a-lifetime. No, it's not. This is just the beginning. We are going to get back into doing this with frequency, sending missions to the moon until we land on it in 2028 and start building our base.
Yeah, are we going to build on the momentum for Artemis 3? I mean, it's just around the corner.
Absolutely. So, I mean, that's, you know, part of me too. Like, I can't wait to get the crew off of Integrity right now, but also getting Integrity back on this ship so we can start taking a look at it, because all that data is so precious to us right now. I mean, we are going to definitely want to take a good look at the thermal protection system. We're going to want to download all the data they couldn't transmit back to us and use that to inform Artemis 3. But we're already making progress, right? You had SRB segments already showing up at KSC. Core stage for Artemis 3 is rolling out on April 20th. We're getting Mobile Launcher 1 back in vehicle assembly building. So yes, there is a lot to celebrate right now on a mission well accomplished for Artemis 2, and at the same time, we got to start getting ready for 3.
Amazing. And last question, you know, for people who joined us for all 10 days to see what we can accomplish together with our international partners, what do you think about the fact that we're going to keep doing this more and more and more?
It's incredibly exciting. I mean, yes, it's the contributions, like the best and brightest across the NASA workforce from across the country, our industry partners, our international partners. We had a Canadian Space Agency astronaut on board in Jeremy. We had the European Service Module. And you think, in the days leading up to this launch, I mean, 48 hours prior to launching Artemis 2, I was meeting with the Italian Space Agency. We signed a memorandum of understanding to build a habitation module on the moon. I mean, you have countries, all of our allies allies and partners coming together saying, we are committed to this effort, we are returning to the moon, we're doing it to stay, we are building that enduring presence, we are going to master the skills on the surface of the moon so someday we can undertake missions to Mars. It's just an incredibly exciting time, and we're not going at it alone, we're bringing everybody along with us.
Absolutely. And speaking of everyone, one more time, we're going to ask the crew here, you guys ready to land on the moon? Awesome, I love that. Okay, well, thank you so much, Administrator. Appreciate you being here. We're, of course, going to stay on to watch the crew get extracted from Orion, so stay tuned, and we'll see you back here shortly.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you, Administrator Isaacman. We are in the process of working to establish that communications link and to establish the procedures that will lead to the power down of the spacecraft, which is gently bobbing in the Pacific following a bullseye touchdown that occurred at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time, 2.5 hours before sunset in the Pacific, southwest of San Diego. We have once again heard from the crew during that interview opportunity with the administrator, and we have 4 healthy crew members on board. We now have confirmation that the vehicle has been powered down as per the procedures, so we have vehicle powered down, and the flight control team here in Houston, Flight Director Rick Henfling, has handed over mission authority to the Exploration Ground Systems team out in the Pacific. Now, we will physically not get off console with this team until the crew has been extracted into the front porch, that inflatable raft that will be erected along the side hatch of Integrity. So we're standing by for that in the next step in the recovery procedures. But everything is in great shape, and we have 4 healthy crew members on board the vehicle. All of the entry events went by the book, no issues, perfect trajectory for Integrity that was culminated with one final raise burn to improve the angle of attack for the vehicle as it entered the Earth's atmosphere. All of that flight dynamics computation worked like a charm. So we are standing by for the recovery team to approach Integrity and begin the process of erecting that inflatable raft called the front porch, which will see the crew members be extracted from the hatch of Orion into that inflatable raft before they're hoisted aboard 2 Navy helicopters in a variety of different configurations. Each crew member will be hoisted in sequential fashion, in alternating fashion, 2 crew members for each helicopter before they turn around to head back to the John P. Murtha. Once on the deck of the ship, they'll be brought into medical bay for comprehensive medical exams. But Reed Wiseman has reported several times that the crew is in excellent shape. Todos los eventos de entrada siguieron el libro, sin problemas. Trayectoria perfecta para Integrity, que culminó con una última maniobra de elevación para mejorar el ángulo de ataque del vehículo al entrar en la atmósfera terrestre. Todo ese cálculo de dinámica de vuelo funcionó de maravilla. We were were checked off and excellent.
En el momento del lanzamiento es imposible. O sea, es totalmente imposible.
Absolutely.
This is Artemis Mission Control.
Pero de verdad, es que no me quiero teñir más el pelo. Es que no quiero. Es que esto ha sido una tortura. O sea, ha sido una tortura teñirme el pelo hoy, de verdad. Y que más o menos quedara mínimamente bien ha sido horrible. No quiero más ya. Dejadme, no me piquéis más.
29 minutes from now.
Ya veremos, ya veremos.
Now it's expected to be a 5.37 foot per second delta velocity burn and approximately a 9-second burn.
Estamos terminando ya el vídeo de los mejores momentos del último día de misión.
Thrusters on the Orion spacecraft. Here in Mission Control Houston, the team on console is currently conducting their go/no-go poll for that
Esto me gusta un poco.
trajectory correction burn, and again,
Pelo azul como el océano de amerizaje. Eso me ha gustado un poco, ¿eh? No he dicho que lo vaya a hacer. No he dicho que lo vaya a hacer. Habla como tiene que estar. La última, para asegurarse, como digo, de aterrizar, de amerizar exactamente en el punto donde lo van a hacer, porque hay una peculiaridad que luego os voy a explicar con el tema de la reentrada, tal y como está pensada para esta misión, que no se ha probado nunca.
You can see a view of the Artemis real-time orbit website, or ARO. The Orion spacecraft is currently traveling at a velocity of about 3,400 miles per hour, and it is about 114,000 miles away from Earth. Earlier today, it did pass the halfway point of its return back to Earth. Again, it is expected to splash down off the coast.
Ahí hemos visto cómo se encendían uno de los dos propulsores, por lo que he podido ver. Es que esos cambios de trayectoria son mínimos, ¿eh? Son sobre todo de orientación de la nave. Poco más, ¿eh? Hay que compensar todo el movimiento que ha tenido la nave, como hemos visto estos días, cuando hacían ejercicio y demás, la nave se movía, entonces podía rotar por inercia hacia sitios que no se quiere. Entonces, antes de llegar a la Tierra, tienen que hacer ciertos cambios de actitud en la nave para colocarla como tiene que estar. Venga, van a empezar ahora.
Again, it is expected to be about a 9.41 second burn.
9 segundos. Cancerígenos, no solo de respirarlos, sino al tocarlos, de verdad, muy peligrosos. Y precisamente por esta toxicidad, cuando la nave toque el océano, y cuando ya americe, antes de nada tienen que ir un equipo especial de, no sé si son buzos o mediante cámaras térmicas en helicópteros, no lo sé, tienen que asegurarse de que no hay ningún vertido en el océano de estos propelentes hipergónicos, antes de que la tripulación, pues obviamente pueda bajar de la nave, que obviamente se va a salpicar con el agua, si el agua está contaminada, bueno, pues todos podéis entenderlo. Y vamos a ver ahora, bueno, mientras vemos unos segundos, yo ahora lo que voy a hacer es que me voy a callar durante 10 segundos porque quiero que contempléis simplemente estas vistas en directo. Insisto, esto no es una imagen, esto son vistas en directo de la nave acercándose a la Tierra a... Espérate, que quiero saber cuánto ha subido la velocidad. Mira, quiero calcularlo exactamente. 8.876 por 1,6, que es el factor de conversión para convertirlo en kilómetros, son exactamente 14.200 kilómetros por hora. Tienen que llegar a 40.000. Y esto vais a ver que va subiendo muy rápido, cada vez va a subir más rápido, ¿vale? Ya entiendo que cuando conectemos con el directo de la NASA, que es este de aquí.
Inspirado.
7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time.
timelined activity. So that'll be our moment to talk about this occasion, and after that there will be no more expected PAO words, and you can get straight into your flight.
One of those early events was the proximity operations demonstration, during which NASA astronaut Victor Glover, the Artemis II pilot, manually flew Orion after having just detached from the interim cryogenic propulsion stage as if they intended to dock. This was practice for future Artemis missions, during which astronauts in Orion will dock with the lunar lander that will take them to the surface of the moon. About 24 hours after launch, 25 hours actually, Orion then conducted TLI, the translunar injection burn. This 5-minute, 50-second burn committed Orion to departing high Earth orbit and set us up for today's flyby. That translunar injection burn also served as the spacecraft's deorbit burn. It slingshots Orion around the moon and sends the crew on a free return trajectory, with splashdown approximately 7:07 p.m. Central on Friday, April 10th. Last night on flight day 5, the crew entered the lunar sphere of influence, the point at which the pull of the moon's gravity will become stronger than the pull of Earth.
The almost no existing atmosphere of the moon. It's barely there, but there is dust on the lunar surface that can get lofted up through electrostatic forces. And when the sun goes behind the moon, it can scatter forward on those dust particles and sort of like create a little glow on the horizon. And so we're really excited to see if the crew can actually see that.
This is so exciting. Thank you so much for walking through all of that with us. Julianne Gross, Artemis Curation Lead, we really appreciate you joining us here today, and good luck to your team.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here.
We are now MET 4 days, 18 hours, and 49 minutes into the flight of Orion. This view up
Is amazed. Thank you, Reed.
Those are some of the communications we're excited most about today. Commander Reed Wiseman calling down their view right now. Obviously a little bit different than what we can see from the solar array camera. They are looking through the windows of the Orion spacecraft, able to see at the same time Earth and the moon. You also heard NASA astronaut Christina Cook calling down some of the cameras that they will be using today. The crew is in that cabin configure. You heard NASA astronaut Christina Cook calling down some of the cameras that they will be using today. The crew is in that number for you for how close they come to. The crew is in that.
Saturno es uno de los planetas más bellos que se ven desde la Tierra, pero la realidad es que, si viajáramos a él, jamás podríamos aterrizar. Porque Saturno no tiene suelo, y querer bajar sería una caída sin límite, además de que no podríamos recorrerlo debido a nuestra gravedad. Pero hay muchas más razones por las que viajar a Saturno sería imposible. Saturno es el segundo planeta más grande del sistema solar, solo superado por Júpiter. Mide más de 700 veces el planeta Tierra, y desde aquí podemos ver ese enorme planeta. Una esfera perfecta pero rodeada de varios anillos. Pero esa imagen es engañosa, porque Saturno no es un planeta como los que conocemos. Pertenece a una categoría llamada gigantes gaseosos, es decir, que no está hecho principalmente de roca o suelo, sino de gas. Sobre todo de hidrógeno y helio, los mismos elementos que componen las estrellas. En realidad, Saturno es más parecido a una gran esfera compuesta de nubes, tormentas y gases girando, además de que hay una especie de océano infinito de gas que envuelve todo el planeta. Ahora imagina que decides viajar a Saturno. El primer problema es que este planeta está a más de 1.400 millones de kilómetros de la Tierra. Es una distancia tan grande que la luz del Sol tarda más de 1 hora en llegar hasta allí. Incluso las sondas espaciales, que son diseñadas solo para viajar, tardan años en llegar. En el caso de Cassini, que fue una de las misiones más importantes de la historia, tardó casi 7 años para alcanzar Saturno. Sin embargo, la distancia y el tiempo que tomaría llegar hasta allá es solo el problema menor. El verdadero problema empieza cuando intentas entrar en el planeta. Solo para empezar, sus capas exteriores son una región llena de nubes gigantes, las cuales, desde lejos, podemos identificar.
Alejandro Pueblas en Comodoro Rivadavia. Alejandro, buenas tardes. El caso de Ángel.
Pablo, ¿cómo te va? Buenas tardes. La situación es verdaderamente extrema en este momento. Se conocieron diversas denuncias cruzadas y en el ambiente que vivía Ángel, tanto paterno como materno, y que todo lo que debería funcionar alrededor no funcionó. Quienes se encargan de decir que es minoridad con los chicos, la justicia de los chicos y que los chicos son lo más importante, no funcionó. Porque sacan a Ángel de un ambiente hostil para ponerlo en otro ambiente hostil que termina con la vida del menor. Un ambiente hostil donde el padre, por parte de su madrastra, tenía denuncias por violencia de género y también violencias hacia Ángel. Y la justicia decide darle unos días.
Gnarly show, man. Wanna trash the stage? Okay.
There was a little Spanish flea, a record star, he heard him sing his like Beatles, the chipmunks he seen on TV. Why not a little Spanish flea, and so he built Atlanta does.
Tonight, the city weeps, as for the first time ever, a hockey arena becomes a scene of violence, following a concert by Spinal Tap.
My poor little baby's okay. See for yourself.
31 minutos desde que la cápsula tocó el océano. Sí, la cápsula anterior tocó el océano, no hay gas peligroso y la escotilla está por abrirse se abre desde afuera.
Insistimos que los astronautas, los 4, están en excelentes condiciones de salud.
Sí, estamos por ver, perdón, una imagen que también va a ser histórica, que es, ¿no?, la apertura de la escotilla y la salida de Christina Koch, Victor Glover, Ray Wiseman, que es el líder de la misión, y Jeremy Hansen, que han logrado salir desde la Tierra, rodear la Luna, sacar fotografías, estudiar su geografía del lado oculto, fotografías que ya son icónicas. Ahora,
Y que están dando vuelta al mundo, Nico.
sí.
A esta hora estamos viendo en distintos portales del mundo estas imágenes después de 9 días, 9 horas, 32 minutos y 15 segundos.
A ver, en minutos se abre la escotilla.
Se viene otro momento clave.
¿Por qué se abre desde afuera? Está con nosotros, repito, Gabriel Zanca, profesor e investigador, director de Ingeniería Electrónica de la Universidad de San Martín. ¿Por qué desde afuera y no desde adentro?
Bueno, primero no hay necesidad de abrirlas de adentro. Esperemos que nadie quiera hacerlo. Y tiene que ver con mecanismos de seguridad y con mecanismos de diferencia de presión.
Acá, a ver, perdón.
Sí será un tema a futuro cuando quieran subir y bajar, pero no utilizarán esta nave para alunizar.
Claro, cuando vayan a la Luna.
Viendo en zoom y en detalle
This is Mission Control Houston, continuing to watch
cómo se acerca
initiation of the recovery
Empieza
la
la,
nave que va a hacer la apertura.
empieza la iniciación de recuperación. Ahora vemos que la nave tiene como unas luces
In the meantime, we
parpadeantes.
go back to the USS John P. Murtha, where my colleague Megan Cruz is standing by to provide her situation report. Megan, can you hear us?
En breve, o que era como inminente.
Sí, también la luz ayuda a localizarlo en caso de que fuese de noche, por
Claro.
ejemplo.
Por supuesto,
A recovery ship where there's still plenty of people.
está entrando,
Into the water. We're not very far from the action everyone is seeing.
claro, están tratando de comunicarse con tierra del buque.
The Orion spacecraft and
Están comunicándose con la tierra, perdón.
in the ocean,
La
surrounded
tierra.
by a number of recovery boats.
Empieza la fase de recuperación.
As Rob has been saying,
Los
in the
astronautas,
boats, NASA
todos están bien.
specifically trained to get the
La
astronauts
escotilla
out.
está por abrirse. Vendrán los helicópteros, irán al buque de allí, los van a chequear, con exámenes muy exhaustivos médicos, su estado de salud.
In some of our wide shots, you can probably see that there are 6
Estamos
boats
escuchando
out
a
in the water.
Megan
de
la NASA.
Hay 6 botes en el agua. Hay 6 botes en el agua y más de 40 personas trabajando en este rescate. Más de 40 personas.
Es
trabajando.
impresionante la cantidad de gente arriba de cada uno de esos gomones.
Y un comentario candoroso y un poco idiota, pero y abajo de ese agua hay un montón de peces que ignoran todo esto. ¿No? La
Tiburones,
naturaleza.
en ese lugar tiburones, muchos
Tiburones,
tiburones.
por eso.
La costa de San Diego en California.
Claro, la costa de California.
Además, obviamente es un...
Atención.
No quiero decir embravecido, pero ese bamboleo dentro de la
habla
cabeza
de un mar peligroso. La cotilla.
Atención.
Pero bueno, vienen del espacio, vienen de vivir sin gravedad.
En este registro
Inminente.
Bueno, está por abrir la escotilla,
está
¿no?
por abrir la escotilla.
Atención.
Presten atención.
Atención.
Basically just to make sure that Orion stays upright, doesn't
Momento cumbre, Nico. Sí. Momento cumbre.
Tiene que estar tocando.
recovery forces.
Tensión.
El centinela de las cotillas.
Sí, claro. Claro, quieres estar estabilizando a Orión, obviamente, como decíamos con este...
Momento culmine.
Para abrir la escotilla,
Again, we splashed down in the Pacific Ocean just after 5 p.m. Pacific time here
Atención.
by NASA to be able to get the crew out of Orion.
parecen haber conectado el gomón a Orión, ¿no? Con una especie de...
Alerta.
Plenty of time No rush either. I was speaking to NASA flight surgeon Rick Schuring earlier in this broadcast. He said to me, no rush to get the crew out. Just want to make sure.
La NASA no tiene apuro, está diciendo, mira, está hablando al mundo.
To take their step out of Orion and onto that large raft in front of
Muy mal. El capitán dijo que están todos bien y que están preparados para salir de Orión.
Ahí ya se abre.
Ahí se abrió.
Por eso, claro, el frente se abrió en brevedad y lo estamos viendo bien. Algunas personas aplaudieron en el barco, ¿no? En ese bote.
Primer contacto de los astronautas con otros seres humanos en la Tierra.
Posiblemente la primera vez que respiren la atmósfera terrestre después de casi 10 días.
El bote se reportó,
ya se lo comunicaron.
aunque lo están viendo.
Porque, a ver, Gabriel, los astronautas están... ¿en qué lugar de lo que estamos viendo de Orión están ellos físicamente?
Bueno, del amerizaje ellos estaban sentados en la zona de lo que es la cabina, todo prácticamente una cabina. Posiblemente hayan salido y hayan estado apoyados en el suelo de la cápsula, pero no lo sé. Tal vez están sentados todavía en la silla.
Sí, pues estaban comunicando que le habían abierto.
Sí, posiblemente.
Sí, está entrando. La Armada está ingresando en la nave.
Sobre todo teniendo en cuenta esto que decíamos, las posibles náuseas, mareos, también un momento de estabilizarse un poco.
Probablemente la persona que entra los chequee y después.
4 personas van a entrar, Ceci.
Gabriel, eso es porque tienen que ayudarlos a salir, tienen que ayudarlos incluso
Atención.
a movilizarse, a caminar hasta la salida.
Sí, imaginemos que hay gente que se marea viajando en colectivo. O leyendo un poco.
Yo en la hamaca de la plaza.
El estado puede ser de un poco de desorientación, que estén también con náuseas, entonces